What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Thanks to the powers of Zoom, yet again, I am sitting down here with 2024 four-star defensive lineman, Pace Academy rising senior, and Clemson commit, Hevin Brown Chuler. Hevin, thanks for coming on. It's an honor to have you. I'm super stoked to get this done. How are you doing?
I'm doing very good. Just happy to be here. I watched your TikTok, so just happy I got to be on an interview.
Oh, dude, I appreciate that so much. I appreciate the support of everybody, but whenever you actually hear it from someone, it's like, man, it's because a lot of times I just get caught up in the numbers, but I realize then it's like people are tuning in and it's
Yeah.
crazy, and I'm hoping I can get a lot of y'all some exposure with these interviews as well. Now, you've been a commit of the Tigers since the spring. Can you tell me about that first time you ever got to tour the campus? Possibly any memorable Dabo quotes at all?
So my first time I toured the campus, Coach Easton wasn't actually there. I don't know if you remember, but they had like the big D line coach change. Coach Todd Bates went to Oklahoma. Coach Nick Easton came in. So the first person who actually recruited me was Coach Bates. And I remember my first day. I think I was a rising sophomore going into my sophomore year. I had went to that camp date June 1st, and man, I remember it was hot outside, and when I actually finally got to do the tour, I was like, whew, I finally saw Coach Sweeney, and what was crazy was we were taking pictures, and I was like, how you doing, Coach? I don't know if you know who I am or not. And he said, nah. He said, nah, I know exactly who you are, and if you come here, I definitely expect great things from you. So I say that was probably my first interaction with Coach Sweeney.
Coach Sweeney seems to have such a good relationship with all of his recruits and like players that come through his program. Um, it's crazy how like everyone I've talked to that's associated to Clemson or has gone to Clemson that knows Dabo, it's like they feel like personally connected to him. You know what I mean? Like, so like you said, Coach Bates went with Venables to Oklahoma. Um, but then Coach Eason took over your recruitment. I would love to hear about the relationship that like you and Coach Eason, the defensive line coach, has had throughout your recruitment up until now.
When he first got to Clemson, um, I actually didn't hear from Clemson for a while. I didn't know if I was still on their board or not, but Coach Easton had, I got able to, talk to him on the phone. He was like, "Nah, nah, trust me. When the time is right, you'll be my first defensive line offer." And I was his first defensive line offer. So we've just been like this ever since that first interaction. I got offered my sophomore year, going to my junior at the spring game. That was my first offer, and I remember walking out of Coach Sweeney's office, and I saw Coach Easton, and I was like, hey, Coach, did you know about this? He's like, yes, sir, for sure. You earned it. You're a Clemson type guy, and I'd love to coach you. And the relationship with him, my mom, my grandmother, it's been wonderful so far.
That's great to hear, dude. I love that. I love when players and coaches have that kind of just like tight knit bond kind of relationship. You can always rely on the word, or you can always account on the word of the coaches and vice versa. Was that spring game last year the one you got offered at, or was it the year before? Do you
I think
remember?
it was the year before last year. Yeah, it was the year before last year. I'm
So
pretty sure.
2021.
Yeah.
Okay, I was at the
Yeah.
2022 one, so I was
Oh, okay.
like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, the standard at Clemson is high. An 11-3 season for some would be considered great, but not at Clemson. How do you think the Tigers are going to do this year?
Feel like offensively we've gotten a lot better. A lot of guys have come back, and defensively that's never a problem at Clemson. It's always going to be DLU over there, especially with you got Peter Woods, Vic Burley, the return of Luke and Tyler Davis, and you got Barrett Carter. Our defense is never the issue. We have a top five defense in the country, so I'm tuned into what the Tigers are going to do this year, but I think that they're going to turn a lot of heads. A lot of the doubters that have their doubts about Clemson this year. As far as with Cade Klubnik taking over the offense, I have no doubt I have no doubt that the Tigers are going to go far this year. No doubt.
Oh yeah, not only are they defending a conference title, but they are looking to make that return to the college football playoffs. And I know a lot of people are high on Clemson right now, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. When you look at them on paper, it's like it's hard to be like, oh, name a better team, you know?
Exactly. That roster on paper look real good right now. So I mean, I don't see too many people who can stand in Clemson's way, especially in the ACC right now. Especially in the ACC. I don't see. The Florida State fans gonna be mad. Florida State fans gonna be mad this year.
Okay. I can't wait to see it. Now, so as I mentioned earlier, you play for Pace Academy in Atlanta, Georgia. For those wondering, Atlanta is only about 2 hours from Clemson, give or take. Did being close to home have anything to do with your commitment to the Tigers at all?
Definitely, I'd say being close to home was definitely one of the boxes on my list that Clemson definitely checked. Me being originally from South Carolina, my grandmother living there, moving to Atlanta. It sits right in the middle of my mom and my grandma, so those of them it's easy access for me to come to my games, and I can go home and back to Columbia, South Carolina, where my grandmother lives, or back to Atlanta with my mom. So that definitely played a major part in my commitment to Clemson for sure.
Nice. So, talking a little bit of Pace Academy, if you will, the playoff game last season against Stevenson did not end in your team's favor, 40-38, I believe. It was close, but being close doesn't move you on to the next round. So, how is Pace Academy preparing for the upcoming season to bounce back this year?
Feel as if everyone's a lot more focused than we were last year. We still hear that lost round every day around campus. Our kicker who missed the kick, who could have got us to overtime, to our quarterback, to me up front especially. It is definitely hard, but these next couple of steps that we're taking, we got a new strength and conditioning coach who came from UCF, I believe, Coach Lee. So having a different type of summer and different weight room, and just been pushing us to a whole another level. We're seeing the results even from summer workouts till now. Everyone's a lot stronger, faster. It just brought us together more as a team. So we're looking to turn some heads this year for sure.
I know everybody who keeps up with that Georgia high school ball is definitely keeping an eye on y'all this year. So now switching it up a little bit to the more academic side of school, is there any subject that might pique your interest to earn your major in?
Me and my mom was actually a anatomy and physiology teacher in college. So I'm a big science guy. I like science, so maybe something with anatomy or food nutrition or investigative science or something like that.
Okay, I like to hear that. That's gonna actually pay off a lot for your athletic career as well. So now, what does Hevin Brown Chuler enjoy doing in his free time?
What I do in my free time, I'm really just hanging out with friends. Since it's my last year of high school football, I try to take up as much time as I can with my friends as possible. Whether that's being outside, going to movies, going to arcades and ready, or even just being on a video game. So just little moments like that I cherish, because I know when I get to college, it's that all that won't be happening to me too often when I go to college. So
yeah, and hey, enjoy it while it lasts, because when you get to campus, those practices and that schedule is gonna amp up tenfold. So. Speaking of video games, I do like to end all my interviews with the same question. Everybody gets this question. If all goes as planned, next summer we will have a new NCAA football video game. If you choose to appear on it and opt in, what do you think your freshman season overall is going to be?
Considering I'll be a freshman, I'll give myself a smooth 80. Smooth 80. No, not too high, not too low. Something I can build on.
Yeah, I like that answer. I think a lot of incoming freshmen next year are aiming for that 80. I think 80 is gonna be like the bare minimum that people are gonna want to have, because
exactly.
There's gonna be a lot of kind of trash talk going on in the locker rooms, and it's like, oh,
Exactly.
you only a 60?
Exactly. I feel like it's easier for a it's like it's a little easier for a skilled player because from a lineman it's way harder to develop in college. So you got to develop strength wise, speed, and if you're a skilled player, some of them just got it. Some of them just got it.
Y'all certainly don't have it easy at all. And so, just like that, that was my final question. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Hevin Brown Chuler, Pace Academy rising senior, 4-star defensive lineman, Clemson Tiger commit. Hevin, thank you so much for coming on. This interview was a blast.
Of course. Thank you for having me. Most definitely.